You thought that wouldn't come around to you, round to you. You know I was down for you, down for you. Now I'm wishing that I never bowed to you, bowed to you. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud, I hate the sound of all these songs about you, songs about you. You know I was wrong about you, wrong about you. Let you hold on to this cash, let you hold on to. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud of it. I'm running out of time to hold you close, running out of time to be your man. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I'm running out of time to hold you down, running out of time to be your man. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I've been zoning. I've been zoning. Come around to you, round to you. You know I was down for you, down for you. Now I'm wishing that I never bowed to you, bowed to you. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud to hate the sound of all these songs about you, songs about you. You know I was wrong about you, wrong about you. Let you hold on to this cash, let you hold on to. I'm in this shit I can't get out of. I ain't proud of. I'm running out of time to hold you close, running out of time to be your man. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I'm running out of time to hold you down. Don't got the time to be your man. I'm just lost in this moment. I've been zoning. I've been zoning.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another amazing match here at the Rose League. Whoop, whoop. I am Captain Jack, your play-by-play for the evening, joined by Platinum Thistle on the Colorcaster role. How you doing tonight, Platinum?
I am doing fantastic. I have no sleep, which means one of two things. I'm really tired or really excitable, and right now it looks like it's the second one, so I'm super hyped to be getting into this game. Who is going to win? Tell me right now.
That is exactly what my entire week has been like, so I know exactly how you feel. Well, we have the Masters Division All-Stars today. East meets Weest once again as we go ahead and see what the best of the best from our Eastern and Western divisions in the Rose League Masters Division can bring to the table. We're going to go ahead and start things off on Ilios. We did end up having to get a couple of swaps near the end for some people, but thankfully we were able to bring it all together so that we could bring you some amazing action tonight. And as always, this is the All-Star game. You know, there is a little bit of seriousness to like think about who's kind of the best of the best, but it is going to get a little crazy towards the end. So please stick around. That final match is going to be up to the fans to decide once again as we go ahead and head to Ilios Lighthouse. It's going to be our first starting map. I want to give a shout out to Matt, aka Clean Linens, aka The Boss, giving us the 2-month sub. I would say I'd be a little disappointed if you didn't subscribe to your own channel. So, but still, thank you for your amazing leadership and continued support. We love having you here. So, Platinum, what are we seeing coming out for the teams?
Oh, well, right now it looks like we're seeing the standard spawn room composition from both teams. We have a healthy mixture of an extreme amount of DPS and one support from Eastern, which is now swapping over to a more realistic comp. And something relatively similar from Western. It looks like they might be going for maybe looks like both teams might be going for a little bit more of a CC controlled meta, with the severe amount of hacking and boots that are on both teams, along with the stun.
It is definitely going to be interesting. We essentially have a dive versus a triple DPS composition. As Tricky Zerg ends up getting picked off at the beginning of the 5-point. Unlocking now as Link ends up getting the kill onto Dead Pixel, the Genji. Tricky Zerg coming back into the fight as we already see Eastern team taking control of the objective and getting it in their favor, 2% and climbing.
Now, there are some switches coming in now from Eastern, which will reset one ultimate, which is Odie. Odie will be now at the 0 on Roadhog as they're moving into this next fight, with Tricky Zerg taking some shots, trying to build up that barrage charge, now at around 60%. That's definitely going to be someone to watch coming in here.
Whoa, there's a Boostio! We're already seeing some craziness as we see the Boostio coming out. Snoops ends up getting the kill onto Dead Pixel, though Eastern still holding the objective strong, 33% and climbing, as Just Come and ends up taking down Snoops as Severin follows up on Tricky Zerg, that Boostio that we were seeing earlier, able to land that kill. And we just hear the can't stop, won't stop being spammed from this Reddit. Lucio EMP comes out though, ends up getting 4 as Meta ends up falling to Aeroson, and Kavat ends up taking down Just Coming. Dead Pixel able to follow up on Lynx though, but Snoop's getting Dead Pixel once again, 60% and climbing right now for the side of Eastern Division.
Now, Eastern Division is kind of building himself up what appears to be a nice little neg-est or S-neg here.
Well, hop and pause you just for a second. The High Noon comes out from Just Coming, ends up taking down Maniac, and Snoops as Tricky Zerg comes out with the barrage, ends up taking down Aeroson on the objective at the 83% mark. We're going to see West move their way quickly into the objective and take it as they start their percentage climb, 7 and climbing.
Now, 2 ultimates were used there from Eastern side, both DPS ultimates, which is relatively good when it comes to ultimate economy. Using about 2 per push is what you want to aim for, if not less. And early pick will start off the fight.
Yep, Just Coming, ends up taking down Severin. Here comes the blade out from Dead Pixel. Make that a nano blade, ends up getting the double. Make that triple kill in the backline. Was getting picked up earlier, but that's going to be a quick shutdown. The only one left is Aeroson on the objective, ends up getting the kill onto Petite Fromage. in the Primal Rage, but gets taken out by Just Coming, and that's going to be a continued hold of the objective now for the Western Division, 45% and climbing to the 83% for Eastern.
And it's still important to look at. Eastern has a much better ultimate percentage, but it doesn't matter if they'll get the kills first.
Woo! That's going to be a shutdown right there by Odie before Maniac can even get close to the objective. They're going to spawn back in, though, 65% and climbing right now for the Western Division, as we see kind of this poke battle for either team right now. Tricky Zerk looks to seem to move over to the Soldier 76 with only really the Winston Shield and the Matrix there to kind of eat bullets. That's really the only thing that will protect them. But right now on the objective, we're going to see both healers get taken out by Meta and Just Coming. As we see Maniac follow up on Dead Pixel, will end up getting demeched and flown over the side by Just Coming, as they also take down Kavat. And that's going to solidify the objective. The High Noon and Tac Visor come out, end up taking down Severin, who just barely touches the point before that Deadeye takes him out. Odie getting the punch kill onto Snoops. The Tac Visor comes out from Tricky Zerg, doing additional damage to everyone walking in. And that's going to be first objective point to Western Division, 100 to 83%.
Now, a lot of that first part of the fight was Western building up to that 83%, but Eastern did a very good job flipping it right back around. So one of the key switches there was Odie moving from the Wrecking Ball to the more hardcore CC in the Roadhog, and a little bit more self-healing. And it looks like we're going to be having a little bit more composition switch up here. Tricky Zerg switching from the Soldier onto the Tracer, and we're going to have to probably see a halt-hook combo coming out, seeing as this is the well.
Interesting switch of events. Yeah, Ken Lee in the chat said earlier, do not get jebaited, casters. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of swaps in the All-Stars this evening, as we go ahead and see Snoops Ore getting the first kill onto Petit Fromage with the boost from Severin right there. The point unlocks in 5 seconds as Dead Pixel gets the shots onto Severin and Kavat right there, taking them out of the fight already. It's a 4v5 as Dead Pixel currently the only one from the Western Division on the objective. Lynx ends up taking down Tricky Zerg as Just Coming ends up taking down Aerosan. Right now it's looking to fall in the way of Eastern as the pull ends up bringing Maniac right into the bottom of the well. The well takes its first sacrifice as we go ahead and see Western Division take control of the objective and start their percentage climb.
Now, one of the things here is that the Pharmacy is very, very difficult to deal with, but Dead Pixel here just completely took care of it by himself. He took out both, but he's still got Just Coming on the McCree to back him up. Say what you will about triple DPS and their sustainability, it's going to be very difficult to run Pharmacy into this.
Well, we're already seeing the amplification matrix coming out from Meta on the Batiste as they go ahead and continue to do damage into the Eastern Division, who is pushing in. The High Noon ends up coming out from Just Coming, looking to do some damage, just does enough to take down the shield, but they're back on and touching. The Halt ends up bringing them up as Bongos end up getting popped by Petit Fromage, but the barrage coming down ends up taking down Just Coming. Dead Pixel turning around with a quick storm arrow, takes down Kavat, but Maniac taking down Dead Pixel. In return, the res is going to come in for Kavat from Severin, and the percentage is going to now start climbing for the Eastern Division, 7% and climbing to 48% for Western. Yes.
I'm experiencing
we got a Batiste Nano, a BAP Nano right there coming in with the amplification matrix as well. Ends up taking down Snoops as Dead Pixel follows up onto Aerosan as well. 28%, and it's already going to swap back over to the Western Division as they go ahead and keep their percentage climb moving 54% and up.
My spectator camera just got stuck at the bottom of the well, so it's following Dead Pixels' body weight down
there. There's a lot of bodies down there, isn't there?
Yeah, that was fun to watch a Roadhog fall all the way down there. Heavy CC going in there on Just Coming.
that hook and kill to start things off with Maniac taking down Just Coming. That's going to be a big one as Odie follows up on Aerothon. The bongos end up getting popped down by Petit Fromage. Kavat ends up taking down Tricky Zerg, who swapped over to the Doomfist for this objective, which is an interesting pick. Here comes the Barrage! A triple kill with the Barrage as we end up seeing Snoops come in with the Pulse Bomb to take out the Immortality Field that would have prevented from getting all of those kills. Awesome job there, Eastern Division, as they go ahead and take the objective once again, 45% and climbing to 86%.
Dead Pixel did get a parting kill onto Lynx, but Severin just came back around to avenge the fallen support brethren, so there was a mercy kill onto Dead Pixel there, which is always nice to see. Pile Driver goes straight in.
Whoa, Dragon Strike versus the whole hog. We know what's going to end up losing out, and Dead Pixel ends up taking down Maniac as they go ahead and work their way into the objective. Here comes the Amplification Matrix coming out from Meta as we see a sleeping Aerosun right now on the objective. This Hammond is definitely an interesting pick. The High Noon coming out from Just Coming, but ends up getting ball chained right by Aerosun. Snoops coming in for Tricky Zerg on the Widow now. In the backline as Dead Pixel takes down Spot. Severin once again avenging that fallen DPS by taking out Dead Pixel and coming in with the Reds. As Snoops falls up on Meta and Petit Fromage ends up taking out Kavat. Eastern Division now at 95% and climbing and looking to take away this point and will be successful. A turn of events completely flipped 100 to 86%. It is now 1-1 here on Ilios as we head to the Ruin.
That was a very close round. Both of these have been very close, which is definitely something I appreciate. And I have to say, the biggest thing that threw the monkey wrench into Eastern's gears is definitely the Flower Mercy there. They ended with 3 DPS with the Hanzo, McCree, and Widowmaker, all of which were very capable of taking down a Pharah in a hit scan manner. Hanzo a little bit less, but still, with the new arrows, it's still possible. They just couldn't shut it down in time. So the Pharah ended up reigning supreme in the skies for too long, and was pretty much their only weakness there. And seeing as they're not being run on western side this time, we might see them have a better chance.
I believe you actually had those flipped. Blue team is Eastern Division.
Oh, I guess they didn't have enough.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, so, but yes, everything you said was absolutely correct. First pick, Ore coming in on Just Coming, who's taking up the role to Hammond this time around. Meta getting popped off by Nukes as Kavat ends up taking down Petit Fromage. Afroson following up onto Odie. Dead Pixel able to get a kill on Severin, but it's coming up blue right now as Eastern Division goes ahead and locks up the objective and skirts that percentage climb 7% and up.
And as we're moving into this, we do see a triple DPS composition from both sides with the Hammond. Snoop so far winning out the Widow duel very, very convincingly, just taking heads off the shoulders over and over and over again.
And that seems to be working for them. Ken Lee in the chat once again saying, hey, casters, that's a set play from Sev and Kavat. He cares not for his body on Pharah, only for the W. So apparently this is very practical from Severin coming in at the end and getting the kill on whoever ends up killing Kavat, which is an interesting thing you get from your Mercy as Dead Pixel ends up getting the pick onto Severin with the punch. Snoops gets Pixel in return, but Tricky Zerg starts the oof battle between the Widows by taking out Snoops. After that quick snipe, the Valkyrie ends up coming out for Meta as they move their way into the objective, 53% and climbing as the EMP comes out from Odie. Doesn't seem to hit much of anything, but Tricky Zerg and Meta getting a triple kill as the Battle Valkyrie Mercy. Whoa!
You might not want to tell your friends about that.
Battle Valk Mercy triple kill to take the objective. Holy goodness. Snoop's gonna return the oof battle though by taking out Tricky Zerg, but the rest is gonna come in. As Odie takes down Kavat, Deadpool's gonna take down Snoops. Here comes the minefield out now from Aeroson looking to clean something up. Severin is able to get the kill onto Odie, but they're not gonna be able to push in any further, it seems. Just Coming, just finding themselves on the side, they're finding themselves in an interesting position, and I'm not for certain why they're staying there in particular.
Especially with just coming on the Hammond, the pile driver is going to get an insane amount of all charge. Stoops again winning the Widow battle.
Woo! That oof battle is now 2-2. The res coming in for Tricky Zerg, though, as Caniac ends up getting the kill on Petite with the pulse bomb, but just coming sees Caniac coming and takes them out as well. Odie following up onto Severin as Aeroson takes down Tricky Zerg. It's a battle for control of the objective as we now see percentages meet 65-65 for East and Weest as just coming takes down Snoop. Odie follows up on Aeroson, and the West Division will end up finding themselves surpassing percentage-wise 72% and climbing.
Just 10% away from that critical 85% box, where it becomes increasingly unlikely that you will end up recapturing the point and giving yourself another chance. So they're really going to have to try and get some point presence here, especially with this EMP.
There comes oh no!
5!
EMP comes out for either side, but the big EMP is on Eastern right now as the blade starts coming out from Dead Pixel, looking to clean up, gets the double kill. Aeroson following up on Petite Fromage as Caniac takes down Tricky Zerg. Dead Pixel makes it a triple by taking down Caniac as Odie follows up on Aeroson. The res comes in for Tricky Zerg once again as Severin takes down Meta, but it's not going to be enough. And Western Division is going to walk away with the first victory tonight here on Ilios.
Now, that was just absolutely incredible. I thought for sure that there was going to be at least another fight coming out from Eastern simply because that EMP caught a couple crucial targets. But as we saw, the one crucial target it didn't hit was the Sombra. So Western had the chance to come back around and throw out the EMP, giving them the advantage going into the fight, only not catching one. So that was really a flipped fight, and Western finishing that in a very domineering fashion.
It was absolutely incredible, and I see everyone in the chat kind of poking ribs at one another. I know this may seem a little unorthodox, but myself, I like to include the stream chat in the game. Yes, we are staggered. We are on a minute delay for you all, so you're not gonna see it as we're seeing it, but just know that we're watching the stream at all times to try to get you all involved. So now Eastern Division does have a chance to go ahead and pick a map that will work out for them as they move into our second map, which is going to be Escort. And actually, I don't believe we're restricted.
It's not restricted.
I don't think so. I think it's any Escort. Well, actually, I don't think it's any Escort. I think it's any map, to be honest. Because we were talking about that earlier this week, and it was just kind of like whatever people wanted to pick. Because,
So,
I mean, this is just a fun game. Like, this
When does
isn't...
chat get to vote on what map they want to see?
That would maybe take a little bit. We'll wait for that for the final map and get people involved for that match. But we will see what Eastern Division ends up picking for their next map. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are the Rose League Overwatch organization, if you will. This is now our second season doing this kind of exciting stuff. You're actually catching us near the end of our season. We're currently in the middle of the playoffs for our Platinum through Grandmasters division. So if you're interested in continuing to follow the amazing action going on here at the Rose League, go ahead, hit that heart button at the top of your screen. That'll alert you to any time we are on. We would also appreciate hitting that subscribe button. $4.99 a month or a free Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will do incredible things to support our community and the current, I believe it's 60 teams that we support going into the playoffs right now, as well as all of our amazing staff that have made all of this possible. So let me go ahead and get my screen back up for the game. As we see, it looks like Eastern Division has chosen Dorado. Yep, they're still going with Dorado, it seems. So Since I am caster and host, let me go ahead and swap that over. Platinum, why don't you let us know what you've been seeing going on between these two teams right now during their time on Helios?
Well, quite frankly, they're both doing the same exact things well. It just so happens that that Western was doing them better. And even though both teams gave a really good fight to it, ended up being a 2-1. It wasn't a stomp in any of the maps. Western did end up looking very dominant at the very end of both of the maps that they won. And they've definitely been doing a very good job, especially on that first map, knowing exactly when to swap off. So I think Western's strength is probably going to be hero picks and knowing what to play that's going to give them the best chance. And I would say Eastern's strength right now, not only is it that they get to choose the map, but also probably because they're going to be able to set the tempo with this next game coming up. So we are going to be heading straight into Dorado, which really, especially in the Western Eastern games that we're seeing today, you don't necessarily have to run goats on it in order to be successful. You can pretty much run anything as long as the other team is. Both teams have pretty much said in the chat they don't want to run goats, so we'll see what's going to be going on. But this team with the high ground on the first point and second point and third point, you can run a lot of different tanks, a lot of different compositions moving in and through the map.
It is incredibly possible, and we've been seeing that during every single All-Star match we've seen so far. Knowing that this is for fun, this essentially allows people that are playing to kind of mess around with different compositions and see essentially if they can outplay each other based on just their own innate skill, not relying on certain compositions to necessarily work, but to see if they can just pull off any composition and take away the W. But as we've been seeing, these teams are also very well flexible with whatever is going on as well. And it looks like we might be seeing a triple DPS coming out. Nope, I scratched that. It looks like we're seeing a 2-2-2 with our basic Ryan Zarya coming out for the side of Eastern as Kavat and Snoops come out on the Widow and Farah. As we look to the Western Division, it looks like we see Odie, Tricky Zerg, and Just coming out as the triple DPS composition with Dead Pixel solo tanking on the Hammond, which definitely can be beneficial for that quick take space, make space tank that they are. The payload goes ahead and starts moving its way forward as it unlocks, and Snoop ends up getting the first pick onto Petit Fromage, but the res is going to come in from Meta to stop that from slowing them down. Kavat ends up getting the pick onto Just Coming, though, as we now see Odie on the high ground trying to play Sniper v Sniper with Snoops right there. Payload starts moving its way into the main objective lane right now as we see Kavat ends up taking down Dead Pixel in their backline. Tricky Zerg finding themselves on the other side of the choke point right there, and I'm not exactly for certain what they're waiting for. I feel like they could be doing some damage behind. I think they're just waiting for a repositioning of the Eastern Division to move their way in, but they could end up spelling disaster. And here comes Tricky Zerg in the back line along with help from Dead Pixel. Ends up getting anti-nated and slept, though, as Severin gets the kill onto Tricky Zerg. That tactic ended up not working out for them as they continue to fight along the objective. The team fight still not really ending, just kind of a single pick here and there to continue the fight from ending as the anti-nade ends up going in on the Western team. Severin ends up taking down Odie from a distance as they reach the 2-minute, 35-minute mark as they seem to be kind of locked into the choke.
Oh.
Ends up picking off Odie right after the res, and that might slow them down just a little bit. We see Just Coming working their way to the high ground, ends up storm arrowing, and there's a Battle Mercy! A Nano Battle Mercy! And it ends up getting slept! Meta not being able to pull off the triple kill this time, ends up getting shut down by Lynx. But Lynx ends up getting taken out in return by Petit Fromage. The beat drop coming in from Severin with a shatter, following up by Aeroson, ends up allowing them to take out a majority of the Western team. And finally, we're going to be able to take a break from the action. Platinum, what do you got?
It looks like Meta seems to be reinventing himself with the new with the new Nano Mercy Valk. It just seems to be working wonders. Odie got shut down really early there by Snoops with the headshot, just taking the tactical visor away, which is something that they were probably banking on. And they went ahead with the push, and Odie's got to build up another visor, infrared visor, that Snoops already has, taking out Odie again.
Woo! Graviton Dragon Strike. Wait, what? Whoa! So the Dragon Strike came out from Just Comin', but the Graviton came out from Maniac right there, and that ended up being a complete cleanup for the side of Western right there. Eastern holding a very, very early chokehold right here on the first objective, and with only a minute on the clock, I've got to say, this is turning to be a very interesting match right now.
This is definitely true, but what I was praising Western for earlier does not seem to be going through. They're not making very many switches. Their tank light composition does not seem to be working, but they're sticking with it. They've got the mines and a missing Odie.
That is true. Snoops ends up taking down Tricky Zerg, working their way into the back line as the res comes in for Odie, ends up getting picked off by Snoops again. Caniac getting the kill onto Just Comin', so all 3 DPS down for the Western side right now as they continue to hold this choke advantage. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. This is do or die right now. It has to get to the gun. Battle Mercy once again, working its way to take down Snoops. If they do anything, they just want to take down Snoops. Barrage and Minefield end up coming out for either side. Dead Pixel able to take down Severin as Just Comin' gets the shot onto Aeroson. Overtime ticking away right now as Just Comin' takes down Kavat, and the res comes in for Petit Fromage. Dead Pixel is able to follow up on Lynx, and in overtime, Western Division is sinking its teeth into the payload and not giving up just yet. 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock to make it to objective number 2.
They did stick with it. They went all the way through with it, and now they're going to have 2.5 minutes. They just barely push it all the way through. And Dragon Blade's going to hang in now.
Here comes the Blade with the boost, and Mercy to pocket ends up taking down Snoops, looking to try to get Severin as well, but not able to make the land as Petit Fromage takes down Aeroson with the anti-nade. Just Comin', ends up picking off Severin as well as Caniac Maniac. That's going to allow the payload to start moving its way forward right now as they go ahead and clear the objective. 1 minute 45 seconds on the clock.
Now, again, looking into here, there's been no swaps. Tricky Zerg has bought them a bunch of space by using their Dragon Blade, getting some good picks. And Snoops just taking out, just coming. You gotta switch here, buddy. If Snoops is taking this much out of you, and you've got to use 2 support ults to kill Snoops, then you're gonna have a problem.
Sorry, I was completely distracted by the amazing half story that was put out by Adiko Games in the chat right there. Take a moment to read that, folks. Definitely not what I was expecting, but was annotating the action going on right now as we see from Kavat just cleaning up the objective with the help of Eastern. 1 minute again on the clock as the payload slowly moving its way forward, just about halfway to the final objective resting place for objective 2. The minefield comes out from Dead Pixel as Odie now swapping over to the Ash, gets a double kill on Kavat and Caniac Maniac. They start moving their way into the final area as Meta gets the res onto Tricky Zerg. Snoop ends up getting the pick on Just Comin' once again as the Pustio comes out for Severin once again. I'm not for certain why they continue to do this. It really seems like a waste.
The memes!
But the memes, and ends up getting a kill as Snoop's picking off Odie and a Petite and Meta, and just coming. That's a quad kill for Snoops, cleaning up objective 2, and that is going to be a strong hold as we go into round 2.
Now, if there was anything that could convince you that Snoops was a really big problem in that match, it was the cleanup there.
Yep.
You not only said he's a problem, period, you added 4 periods, 1 for each headshot he got at the end of the game. That's ridiculous. This is absolutely. They ended up bringing in Odie on a second sniper to try and take a little bit of the heat off of Just Coming, and little did Western know they're walking into Eastern's death trap here. Snoops on the Widowmaker is just incredibly deadly, and that's gotta be exactly why they picked this map. It's such a good Widowmaker map, and since this is less of a I want to win, it's more of a I want to show off skill kind of game. No one's going to be running goats. No one's going to be running what you need to counter the Widowmaker. So Snoops is just going to have free reign of this entire map here.
Well, looking in the chat, Ken Lee has been giving us a lot of background information about kind of what's been going on with some of the members here, and with Snoops, when their team, which I assume is Expandable Syndicate based on what I've been reading, faced off against Snoop's team, which I'm not for certain which team they're normally with. And this was something that was a challenge for them from the get-go, their entire match with them. So this is what they knew going in that they were going to have to deal with, but it really seems like Eastern Division is not dealing with, Western Division is not dealing with that issue. I hope now they have Odie on the Diva that might end up working out for them as they come out with the bunker composition. Very interesting positioning, though, as the payload just kind of moves its way past.
Down.
And there they go, drive it down. Ends up getting the first kill onto Tricky Zerg as Kavat takes down Dead Pixel, and just coming with the Boop Severin ends up getting the Boop kill onto Meta as well, as Maniac takes down Petit Fromage. That's gonna pretty much clear the objective and start the payload moving past, as we see Aeroson just beating their chest.
Snoops didn't even have to do much that round. They obviously pulled out the bunker specifically to try and deal with Snoops, but now that hasn't worked, Dead Pixel has switched off of the Bastion to try and contest him on the Zenyatta. And we're going to be seeing how that works. There's a support ultimate fight in the backline, though, between Ana and Severin. Just Coming and Severin.
Oh boy, well, it looks like Lynx is going to get picked off by Dead Pixel as Aeroson and Kavat follow up on Petit Fromage and Tricky Zerg, and they will go ahead and take objective number 1 as Severin falls to the turret of Tricky Zerg. Kavat ends up taking themselves out of the fight quickly. Looking into the chat, Dead Pixel needs to get on DPS, says JTOW. It's at what he actually plays. So now that Dead Pixel is on the Widowmaker, hopefully we might be seeing a switch from the side of Western Division as they try to hold objective number 2 with 4 minutes 45 seconds on the clock.
Diva Bomb goes in, lands on the bridge, so nobody's gonna get anything.
Oh no! Oh man! Oh no!
That's just devastation right there.
That is such an oof. It was so perfect, and if it would have gone a couple more feet, it would have fell right off the edge and onto the payload. I'm absolutely certain that that's what they were going for, but it just did not end up landing as Snoops gets the pick onto Odie. We got a nano tracer, a nano pocketed tracer, or a nano bongo tracer as Maniac uses the bomb to take down Deep Fromage's bongos. We see the rest of the team just completely shut down. Eastern Division bringing it back in map number 2, now making it 1-1 here in the Master All-Stars match. Kavat coming in with play of the game on Farah, as we expect nothing less. And it's this little boop, just booping mom right off the side.
There was just no contention there.
And just sitting there, just punch, punch, punch. They'll go down eventually. I'm not worried. Oh my goodness. So Platinum, 1-1 in the series. Eastern and Western are definitely showing us that this is not going to end easily for either team. It seems like they kind of play around just a little bit, and then one of the teams gets serious and they just kind of lay it down. And so as we continue to get towards the end, I'm pretty sure we're going to continue to see that. So what do you think we should be expecting from the teams moving into our halftime?
Snoops is going to shoot someone in the head, and Western Division is going to forget to get on the point.
Oh my goodness.
That's my prediction for second half.
Well, I hope that it's not that simple, although I do appreciate your analysis. I want to give a thank you to the Boo Flame for hosting us. We love having hosts to watch these amazing matches, to kind of spread the love to everyone else. We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Go ahead, use the restroom, get yourself a drink, a snack, whatever it is y'all need, as we continue on the Masters Division All-Star match in about 5 minutes.
Pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Just to pour that motherfucker down the drain like me. Would you use your water bill to dry the sea? systematic, in a straight my mind. All you get is static. I got the right intention, problem is attention. I'm back tracking all the things I forgot to mention.
Welcome back to another amazing match here at the Rose League. Hopefully you enjoyed your halftime. I'm Captain Jack on the play-by-play with Platinum Thistle on the color roll this evening. We currently have the Master All-Stars game going on right now, 1-1 between Eastern and Western Division. And it looks like our next map is going to end up being Hanamura. Platinum Thistle, how do you think the teams are going to fare on this map?
I'm really hoping that Eastern pulls out more stops than just a Widowmaker, because I know Widowmaker can be so dominant on this map, and I never thought I'd say this in like semi-professional Overwatch League, but I don't want to just see Widowmaker. I'd like to see some other stuff from Snoops too. Someone, a bunch of people in chat were saying that they want to see Kavat on Doomfist, and I'm starting to agree with them.
Spam this fish for Kavat's Doomfist. I love it. So, and it looks like there's a poke battle going between Snoops and Ken Lee, scoping out for that Widow 1v1 right now. So it is. It looks like there's some heat going on, but hopefully the cherry blossoms will be in bloom for us as we go ahead and start off our match on Hanamura. Now remember, our final match is going to be a fans, watchers chosen match. We have 2 matches for you to pick from. We'll go ahead and put up a box at the end of this match so that you can all vote on what you want to see. We definitely got some interesting matchups, which might end up swinging this in one team or another's favor, especially based on what we've been seeing this evening. So I will be incredibly excited to see what that ends up coming out to be. But let's go ahead and move our way into Hanamura. This map always comes with one particular challenge, and that's that big old doorway. That's the only way in and out to the objective. And normally when we see a defensive side, I personally like to run the Snoats composition. You want that Maywall to really separate out the team if they try to charge through. But it doesn't look like that's what we're going to see this time around. It looks like we're going to see Bunker once again coming out from the side of Eastern Division. And
it's a good choice to counter that.
It is, and it looks like Western Division is coming out with a triple DPS once again. Odie coming in this time on the May, which is an interesting choice, being on the attack, but it's definitely something that could end up working. As we go ahead and see the teams start moving their way towards the objective, Aeroson almost not able to get there soon enough to protect Snoops on the Bastion, as we see Tricky Zerg trying to get some hits on the objective, across the objective. We already see Kavat on the Torb, ends up taking down Odie with the punch right there, as we see Just Coming get taken out by Kavat as well, as they were yeah, pretty much. It was as soon as they got them, they're both Caniac Maniac and Kavat ended up jumping onto the objective to contest. And without having the whole team there, it does make it difficult. And I gotta say, Ken Lee in the chat saying, yo, Snoop's not on Widow. We're not seeing any Snoop's Widow right now. And I wonder if that's really going to change how this match is gonna go.
I totally agree, 100%.
Well, right now, it looks like Tricky Zerg able to get the pick onto Snoops, as a boop did end up coming in, trying to disturb Lynx's res. It looks like they're going to get taken down by Dead Pixel, as well as Aeroson Kavat able to use the turret to take down Dead Pixel in return, though. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock right now as we continue to see them hold the choke. Caniac Maniac ends up getting slept as the Dragon Strike comes in. Caniac coming in with the heals as Severin gets taken down by the Dragon Strike. Kavat comes out with the Molten Core, but ends up getting taken down by the Storm Arrow from Tricky Zerg. The only one left near the objective right now is Caniac and gets shut down by Just Come In. And with about 2 minutes left on the clock, we're going to see them take Objective A and start moving their way into Objective B.
Now, they've kind of got a dive triple DPS thing going here, and this is definitely one of the maps to be doing it on if you're doing it at all. So I can totally see them moving through here, and Snoops is on Widow.
Oh, Snoops is on Widow.
Kavat's on Doomfist.
They done pissed him off, folks. Kavat on Doomfist and Snoops on Widow. As Caniac Maniac ends up getting the hook and shot onto Dead Pixel. Petite ends up taking down Caniac in return as Snoops gets the pick onto Meta. As we are now seeing Snoops and I would imagine Kavat in their elements right now. It's going to be interesting how long they can hold this objective with their now modified 2-2-2 that they're running here.
And Snoops just on Widow again. I tell you what, I'm okay with it, just because Odie's on Widow too, and we've got a pretty decent sniper tool on, but that was not fair. Snoops, you had a personal bubble. That's cheating.
Something tells me, by the way, that Snoops has been playing, that bubble really wouldn't have mattered much, to be completely honest.
I'll give
the benefit of the doubt with you, though. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Could have been Odie getting the oof on that, but just that tanks doing
statistically probably not.
Probably not. But with 4 minutes 40 seconds on the clock right now, it seems that we have a very interesting setup. Whoa! The amplification matrix ends up coming out from Severin as they go ahead and try to get picks across the entrance right there. The only one near the objective seems to be Tricky Zerg now on the Sombra as Just Comin' ends up getting hooked, almost taken out. Here comes the oh goodness, here comes the whole hog, ends up getting hacked, so will get shut down. The minefield coming out in the backline as Dead Pixel pops the blade, ends up getting shut down by Aeroson as Snoops picks off Tricky Zerg. Meta is able to take down Kavat. The sleep dart ends up coming in to keep down Aeroson, but not a lot of follow-up to finish off the pick. Lynx getting the double kill as Zenyatta onto both Meta and Odie, and that's going to continue to hold the objective for Eastern Division. 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock.
Now, Meta is someone that I want to be watching here. He landed a cross-map sleep onto Aeroson, which is very impressive. I want to see if they can do that again, just to see if it was a fluke.
I don't know. It might end up being possible. Here comes the drop in from Just Comin', looking to get some additional, but ends up getting punched by Kavat. Here comes the Meteor Strike as we go ahead and see Aeroson move back with the rest of the team to the objective. Kavat gets Odie as Snoops takes down Dead Pixel, but Petite follows up on Caniac as Aeroson takes down Just Comin' in return. Kavat moving their way with Severin to try to take down Meta, but ends up getting slept by Meta as Snoops ends up getting the pick onto Petite. Lynx gets taken down by Tricky Zerg in return. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock.
Now, you know the phrase, if we forget our history, it's doomed to repeat itself?
Yep, that's what we're seeing here. Is that what you're going to tell us?
It seems to be a short-term version of that. Every time Western gets the, one pick, they get overly comfortable and they move right in. And then Snoops gets a refrag and they keep with the push, and then they get completely wiped out by Eastern's spawn advantage.
Oh,
so
here comes the nano, but the anti-nade also comes in onto Odie, taking their health in half. The Transcendence gets popped by Petite, as well as the EMP coming in from Tricky Zerg. Ends up getting two as Petite from Oz shuts down Kavat. Snoops picks off Meta as Aeroson follows up on Petite. Tricky Zerg ends up getting Snoops as Lynx takes down Dead Pixel. The whole hog comes out and takes down Just Comin', and despite all the ultimates that were wasted right there, Caniac Maniac getting the final hook and shot in on Odie. 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock for Western Division as Severin spams. Do you need a bandage for that?
Now, what did I tell you? Exactly what happened is they got a couple picks. Western, I mean, got a couple picks, moved in, and they got a bit comfortable. They were like, okay, this time we got it. This time we got it. And it just didn't happen. The spawn advantage for Eastern was too much for them, and they never sealed the deal. And that's something they got to work on moving up through here. Just Common drops pretty low here.
Yep, and they're going to end up getting D-Maxed and punched out by Kavat as the Meteor Strike comes in, looking to get the healers in the backline as Snoops ends up picking off Meta, and Odie follows up on Kavat in return. They're going to continue to fight on. 50 seconds left on the clock as we see both Odie and I believe it's Dead Pixel move their way to the high ground. Dead Pixel ends up getting the health back, but gets hooked and almost getting taken out of the, does get taken out of the fight by Lynx with some help from Caniac Maniac. We're gonna see Kavat coming in with the punch, trying to keep them off of the objective as we see Odie jumping their way in. It's essentially a 5v6 fight, make that 4v6 as we see Just Come get taken down by Aero-san. Odie follows up on Severin with a boop kill as Caniac takes down Tricky Zerg. Currently, Snoops is uncontested with Lynx on the high ground as they move into the objective. Dead Pixel coming back in with the blade. Double Transcendi end up coming out as Dead Pixel ends up picking off Snoops and is able to continue to hold on. Caniac bringing out the whole hog, ends up taking down Petit Fromage as the Coalescence gets popped by Meta. Diva Bomb comes out as well as the EMP from Tricky Zerg, but Severin with the amplification matrix allows them to get picks onto Just Comin', and Meta and Dead Pixel overtime ticking away right now as it is now a 1v6 fight on the objective, and without a tick to be had, Eastern Division is going to hold a complete lockdown here on Objective B.
If there are dueling transcendences on the point, that means we have two irises, right? So does that mean at least one person on each team is compelled to have to make a nose and a mouth just to like complete the set?
Whoa, say that one more time.
We have dueling transcendences, right? On the point. Both teams have transcendence. And Zenyatta's voice line is pass into the iris, which means a transcendence is an eye.
Yeah.
So if we've got two of them on point, does each team have to surrender one additional member so they can form a nose and a mouth to complete like the Zord on the point?
The ultimate Zen Zord. I'm not for certain if that's what ended up going down, but it definitely was interesting. Surprisingly, we didn't see Petit chase after Dead Pixel to keep them up in the fight as they continued to fight in Lynx's transcendence that was going off as well. And I'm not for certain if that was just because the team got split weird and they felt that going with the tanks was the better way to go, instead of making sure that Dead Pixel was able to get back into the fight. But again, we're seeing history repeat themselves as we see Snoops on the Widow during that second half of the match, just completely dominating the field and not being contested until the very end. So let's see if we will end up seeing the same going into this attack now coming in from the Eastern Division. It looks like we're seeing a quad DPS, double heals on the attack, and a 2-2-2 coming out from the defense. Might be enough as Tricky Zerg lights up Severin. Dead Pixel getting the triple as Tricky Zerg ends up taking down Snoops in return as well. And Odie will follow up on Caniac Maniac. So far, 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock, and Western Division holding a very strong set, but I'm not for certain I'm not for certain what I'm seeing here from the Eastern Division.
Now, Western, what we saw here is finally their snipers got a chance to like pop off and show their skills.
Oh,
I'm so sorry for the caster curse. but they got 5 out of 6 of the kills there. Granted, they are the DPS, but it was still very good. All in a very rapid succession, doing their job. But let's see if they can do it as Tricky Zerg switches off the Hanzo to the Tracer to try and get back to the point in time.
Yep, we got Caniac moving their way in as Snoop's now back on the Widow. Ends up taking out Meta, but Dead Pixel able to take down Snoop. Gavat takes down Just Coming though as they get almost first tick on the objective. It's Dead Pixel versus Caniac. Maniac as the coalescence comes out. Dead Pixel is able to pick off Caniac as we see, I believe it's Aerosun trying to hold on to the objective, trying to get that first tick as the rally ends up coming out for Severin. Lynx ends up taking down Dead Pixel as Tricky Zerg falls to Kavat. The rally continues to hold as we see first tick make that second tick coming from Lynx on the Ana. Kavat and Severin just cleaning up the rest of Western Division as they start moving their way to Objective 2 with now 6 minutes on the clock.
Where has this Dead Pixel been all my life?
I don't know, but it's not
so
going to be up for long as Soup's already getting the first pick onto Dead Pixel as they try to rush in and take Objective B. Quadruple EMP from Aerosun after getting taken out by Petit Fromage. Here comes the Nano Blade out from Kavat, gets a triple kill as Lynx takes down the fourth. The only one left is Just Coming, and that's it.
Just Coming never just came. He never arrived at the point.
Just didn't come, just ended up getting got. And that is going to be a victory for Eastern Division, making it 2-1 now in the series for the Master All-Stars. Play of the game going to Kavat, which I believe is right here.
This is a beautiful Dragon Blade. Very well done. And one of the things that I'm going to be looking for in this next map is probably going to be just genuinely how well we can see Dead Pixel pop off again. Because he's been the only DPS counter to Snoop so far. He got a very nasty double kill on both Widowmaker and a Tracer, two of the smaller hitboxes in the game, if I'm going to be frank. And I was very impressive. So I'm quite excited to see what he's gonna be doing when it's coming into the next game. I would be very excited to see Dead Pixel and Snoops go at it for a bit.
Well, see, that's the thing that's going to be interesting because, as you all know, if you've been following us throughout the All-Star matches, the fourth match is a toss-up, and we're tossing it over to y'all in the chat. So tonight is going to be a choice and should be popping up on the screen momentarily. We've got Low Gravity Adventure versus Support Showdown. So obviously Low Grav is what you normally see in arcade. Support Showdown, though, is supports only. It's only supports, and seeing as we now have over 6 supports, we can probably keep it easily at just everyone picking a particular support, not doing kind of this double or triple mercy or whatnot. Nobody wants to see any of that. So go ahead, click to vote on the screen right now what the next map type should be. We're going to give you about a minute to go ahead and do that because the stream has to catch up with y'all. So now that we have released what the choices are, Platinum, and we know that Dead Pixel has kind of been the only counter to Snoops currently, what could we end up seeing here on either of these? If we go to Low Grav, obviously we have an option for DPS to continue to play, but if we go to Support Showdown, that might be a completely different story. And right now it's looking like Support Showdown is the only thing people want to see right now.
Yeah, we've got 7 votes counted right now. It's more than halfway done, and all of them have been for Support Showdown. Probably a combination of 3 things, right? One of them is Low Grav Adventure has been what we've been doing normally, so it's something new. Support Showdown, we saw that 2 instances of the nano boosted Valkyrie, and that is one of the coolest sentences I've ever said in my entire life. So I think that that's something we're going to be looking out for, or what at least a lot of people want to be looking out for. And the third thing is Snoops can't abuse people in the support showdown. And low
Well,
gravity,
they
would
can,
not
just
be-
not as easily as they were before.
right? I mean, but low gravity, it'd be like a pigeon shoot, right? Like there'd just be people flying up in the air very slowly, and it would be so easy. And it looks like 8 people voted 100% support showdown. Everyone wanted support showdown.
It looks like that is definitely going to be the case. So while I go ahead and set up for that, give me a little bit of an analysis of what do you think we might be seeing here.
Well, I think Meta is going to be coming in on that Mercy again, probably with Petit Fromage on the Ana, trying to see if we can get that nano boosted Mercy coming in. And for the sustain, we might be seeing a Brig, maybe a Baptiste from both teams. Damage, probably Zenyatta. But then again, Ana would be very good at damage as well, especially with the long range hit scan potential when you scope in. And the last slot, I would probably be looking to see probably Lucio, just because Lucio is one of the more fun heroes to play, and he's got a lot of mobility that can help counter any mobility that the supports will be. So we've just told our players what the twist is going to be. They didn't know up until now. No one told them what the options were. What the twists were.
Well, that's because normally we would have told them ahead of time, but it literally took until like the last 10 minutes for us to make sure that both teams are going to be here tonight. So it kind of skipped my mind, to be completely honest with you, until we got started. But so I'm looking through this, and now with the addition of Baptiste, it's actually, I think we have 7 healers now. So there could be a little bit of a difference between the metas of both teams, depending on who they may see coming out for this fight. And since both teams are ready to go, let's go ahead and get things started. Kings Row, heroes never die.
Yeah, that's a good point. Someone in our chat pointed off, Ken Lee pointed out that it's the mode is called Heroes Never Die. And I don't know if is it like a pre-existing mode, or is that a game that he came up with?
It might be. I mean, we just kind of came up with it at the last minute. As you know, on Wednesday we did super hyper mega fun time, whatever the heck we called it, which was maxed out movement speed, which was incredibly crazy. We wanted to give low grav another chance because obviously that changes kind of how the game is played as well. But we wanted to give you another option, and it was just kind of popped off support showdown to do that. Personally, I was thinking of a game mode called Gun Jam, where there was no primary fire whatsoever for any hero, which I thought would have really screwed with a lot of people, and definitely again would not have allowed Snoops or other DPS to kind of utilize that picks for days ability that they've been kind of getting right now. But now, as we see each team come out with their support composition, it looks like everyone is giving up. Nope, one team gave up Mercy, the other team gave up
Lucio.
So one's going for speed, one's going for reses. So let's see how these teams will end up doing as Western Division starts their attack here on Kings Row, Heroes Never Die.
Now, I'm very curious to see who gets gold healing, and I think that will be my pick for MVP. Whoever gets the healing card. Whoever gets the healing card gets my MVP pick for today.
It's going to be so close. You know it's going to be. Well, both immortality fields are down right now as Petit Fromage and Severin, both on the Brigittes, are literally just slapping the crap out of each other right now. Stunning each other, slapping each other. It is absolutely crazy right now what is going on at this objective, because now that the first ultimate is going to come out from Tricky Zerg, going to be the Coalescence. Second Coalescence coming out now from Caniac Maniac, as we see the rally come out from Severin, as well as the Amplification Matrix out from Just Coming, and the trans from Dead Pixel. Now we're going to see Snoops coming out with the Transcendence, as well as the Amplification Matrix from Lynx right now. This is absolutely crazy, as Dead Pixel able to finally get a pick onto Severin, but Just Coming actually gets taken down in return right there is a 4v5 fight on the objective. It's just coming, takes down Snoops. The beat drop comes in from Kavat, trying to keep Eastern in the fight as the Nano goes on to Petit Fromage, looking to do some damage with that flail as Brig unable to be successful. Dead Pixel is able to take down Aeroson though, keeping it a 4v6 fight on the objective, make that 3v6 as Odie takes down Caniac, and the Coalescence comes out from Tricky Zerg. Once again, Western Division gets first tick, looking to get second tick as well, and it looks like both rallies coming out from Petit and Severin. The Amplification Matrix comes out from Lynx as they continue to fight for control of the objective. Second tick, now the Amplification Matrix out from Just Coming, ends up getting taken down by Lynx as Dead Pixel, ends up taking down Snoops, and the Coalescence comes out from Maniac to keep the team up as much as possible. Meta comes in with the res on Just Coming as Deadpool takes down Aeroson. Odie able to take down the Immortality Field from Lynx as they continue to fight on the objective. Just a hair of a percentage, 0.7%, and it is going to end up being possible as the Western team showing right now to be the better DPS heals team right now as they get the payload moving, and Odie still gonna take that Ana spot on the objective.
Just real quick, can we get a Pog champ for this man's lung capacity?
Woo!
This is just like one of the. You must be an excellent swimmer or free diver.
I was a singer since 5th grade. That's
Oh,
where
yeah,
my lung
that'll do it.
capacity comes from. So
I just talk a lot. That's where I got mine.
Oh, I do that too, as you can tell, but they're starting things off already. Ultimate's flying in every which direction, but Tricky Zerg gets the triple kill on the objective. It is now a 3v6 fight as they push off Eastern Division past the second objective point. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Tricky Zerg just picking everyone off. And Tricky Zerg's been having a difficult time this evening on the DPS. Just Coming cleans up the last two. As they start to respawn, they take over the high ground. 3 minutes on the clock. The payload inches its way into objective number 2, giving them another minute and a half. That's going to be 420, folks. Smoke 'em and toke 'em as we go into objective number 3.
420, the time bank, really reminding me of this game so far. It looks like we have, after first point, Western is just rolling and smoking Eastern, but so many different ultimates going into this fight. We got to see where the first pick comes in.
It is going fast as Maniac comes out with the Coalescence. We see the Immortality Field come up for Just Coming, but Odie able to get the pick onto Severin with the anti-nade as Dead Pixel takes down Aeroson as well. Western Division working their way into the final objective point with 3 minutes 40 seconds on the clock, showing that a team of supports can indeed do exactly what they need to do. The rally ends up coming out from Severin, trying to keep the team alive on the objective with only 0.64 meters to push in. Severin ends up getting the kill on Petit as Just Coming ends up taking down Kavat. Snoops follows up onto Dead Pixel, doing only things that Zenyatta's can do as Lynx ends up taking down Odie. They're going to end up locking up the objective right now. The only one near is Just Coming, fighting on the high ground against Lynx on the other Petit, and will end up getting shut down with 3 minutes on the clock. We're going to see Eastern dig in their heels and go ahead and save the objective from being claimed by the Western Division.
Just barely saving it there. It was something like 1.4 meters.
0.64 meters.
Damn.
Yep.
So just barely taking it there. Here comes the ult party.
Back in it again! The Transcendence ends up coming out along with the Amplification Matrix and Coalescence from Snoops, Lynx, and Maniac, and using all those ults, they were able to not get a single kill except for Dead Pixel from Aeroson. Tricky Zerg! It's coming in. The DPS DPS Moira main, it seems to be. Tricky Zerg just cleaning up the entire field as Odie ends up getting the pick onto Aeroson, and Lynx ends up get taken down by Dead Pixel. Dead Pixel taking out Maniac as well and popping the trans.
It's gonna be close.
The double kill onto Snoop, Kavat, and Aeroson getting punched by Meta. Petit Fromage taking out Severin, and with about 2 minutes on the clock, we're gonna see Western Division lock in that bomb to objective 3.
Oh boy. How do you think Zenyatta feels about EMP?
1 minute 59 seconds to be exact.
How do we think Zenyatta feels about EMPing a Omnic hostile?
What? How does Zenyatta feel about EMPing an Omnic hostile?
Yeah.
Wait, how would Zenyatta EMP an... See, you remind me a lot of a friend I used to have in the last league that I worked in that would just come up with these really random things to say in the middle of a match, and I just get like, okay, so I know now, Platinum. I got you, fam. So you tell me, what do you think Zenyatta would feel about EMPing an Omnic hostile?
It sounds even. Why you gotta say it out loud? It makes me sound even worse. Oh man, I don't want to hear myself talk in someone else's voice. I want to hear myself talk in my own voice.
Oh goodness.
I think he's gonna be very confused as to why he shut down immediately after winning.
That would be true. That would be true.
Yeah. We had a very good point made by Ken Lee, is you basically need an Ana with the anti-heal grenade in order to be able to win this. Which is very true. Most of the support ultimates like Zenyatta's and Moira's are going to be very crucial when it comes to the amount of healing your team can get. And if you can land a perfect Ana nade, then you're going to pretty much nullify those ultimates for certain people. Early pick!
But that's going to be a quick shutdown for Blinks onto Petit Fromage. The rest comes in from Meta as Western Division already finding themselves on the back foot for the objective. We're going to see Kavat come in on the Brig now. Petit Stain also on the Brig. We did see some swaps though. Tricky Zerg switching to the Zen as Petit gets the flail onto Kavat. Lynx follows up on Petit as well as the rest comes in on Aeroson to Kavat. Dead Pixel now on the Moira as Stoops gets the double kill as the Ana taking down Odie and Dead Pixel. And in a very quick fashion, Eastern Division is taking the objective with 3 minutes on the clock. That's going to give them 5 minutes, 30 seconds to push into objective number 2. And I got to say, I'm surprised that Western Division swapped up their composition, which happened to be working incredibly well.
Yeah, 100%. With Kavat getting the early nano boost, but an anti-nade is going to be catching them real unfortunate.
Yep, well, the ultimates are flying once again as Maniac taking the place of Tricky Zerg gets the double right there as the Coalescence now coming out from Dead Pixel, looking to clean up as Snoops ends up taking down Petit Fromage. The Transcendence keeps everyone up in the fight as they go ahead and continue to move that payload into Objective 2. Maniac takes down Just Coming as they move into Objective number 2, 4 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
Just pick after pick, stagger after stagger. It's super unfortunate. And quite frankly, I completely agree with what was pointed out earlier in the chat. The anti-nade is going to be super crucial moving in through here, especially right after Briggs' armor is worn off. But a lot of ults coming in here from the west side, so they have a real high chance of stopping this.
Here we go. The nanoed Moira coming in, ends up picking off Snoops immediately. Link's able to get the kill onto Meta, but Tricky Zerg ends up taking down Severin. The Reds comes in for Snoops, but it may just be a little too late as the Transcendence ends up coming out for Tricky Zerg. Dead Pixel is able to get Lynx. Kavat falls, as well as Aeroson to Petit Fromage, and Dead Pixel taking out Snoops once again. That's going to lock down the payload here right before objective number 2 with 3 minutes 45 seconds on the clock. Western Division not out of it yet as Tricky Zerg gets a charged ball shot around the corner into Severin's face.
One of the things I've been noticing is that Snoops, first off, that Snoops, when he was told he couldn't play Widowmaker, he automatically went to the only sniper he could play.
Oh, that's not true. Snoops actually played Zenyatta the first time around.
Zenyatta can be a sniper, and we both know.
That's true. That is true.
Dead Pixel with the Kamehameha, see what he can do here.
It is going huge. Maniac able to take down Tricky Zerg in return, though. It's a 5v5 as the Trans ends up getting popped by Lynx, keeping everybody up except for that anti-nade. Allows Petit Fromage to end up taking down Snoops. The Coalescence now coming up from Maniac. Maniac allows Kavad to take down Petit Fromage as we see both Immortality Fields right now holding up the 4v4 that's going on for the objective. The first one to fall is Odie's thanks to Link, and currently the only one left on the objective is Dead Pixel trying to fight off Kavat, but will not end up being successful as the flail is stronger than the grapple hand. Maniac takes down Just Coming as Odie gets shot down by Lynx with 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock. We're going to see them move into objective number 2 and end up taking it successfully, now giving them 4 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes to meet the time bank of Western Division.
Oh, pretty good late anti-nade. Landed onto Meta there. That's going to deny a lot of the healing and possibly allow for a stagger, but it was not taking advantage of. Meta slept. So what we're looking for here is another huge anti-nade. They got to push this now.
Woo! They were trying to go for it, but it was not enough. The Nano comes out onto Petite as Odie also pops the amplification matrix, but gets shut down incredibly quick right there. The Transcendence coming out for Tricky Zerg as Odie goes ahead and swaps over to the Mercy for this final area. As the Coalescence comes out, Snoop's able to take down Petit Fromage. The Coalescence now coming out for Dead Pixel, looking to get a kill as Snoop takes down Meta, and the Dead Pixel ends up getting quadruple kill with quadruple kill with the Coalescence, and the Death Ball shuts them down just before getting into the objective's final resting spot. 2 minutes 50 seconds on the clock. Western Division ain't out of the fight yet. We may be seeing a map 5, folks, and I'm not exactly for certain what we're going to do for that. I'm definitely going to guarantee it's going to be Busan because, I mean, why not? But what we're going to play is really going to be the challenge. But we'll get to that depending on how this goes down as Link ends up getting the pick onto Just Coming. The res comes in, but the amplification matrix from Severin ends up being deployed as both Immortality Fields get popped. Lynx ends up taking down Petit Fromage. Severin ends up taking down the amplification or the Immortality Field as Just Coming takes down Severin. It's a 5v6 fight on the objective right now as they now meet the time bank of the Western Division. Aeroson able to get the res in on Severin as they continue to dance around the objective, just essentially wasting time off the clock. Here comes the Nano onto popping the rally. Double Coalescences. Transcendence gets popped by Tricky Zerg as the rally gets popped also by Petite. And everything is just going off right now. Link's the only one left to pop. Ends up popping at the end. And essentially, nobody dies. And now they're dying. Link's able to get
kills, everybody. We got kills.
Odie and Meta end up taking down Severin and Kavat. Odie gets the resin on Petite as Lynx ends up taking down Dead Pixel. Meta follows up onto Lynx. 1 minute, 15 seconds on the clock as they go ahead and push off Eastern Division one more time from the objective.
Even trades favors defense most of the time because of spawn advantage on this point. So really, that's what Western was hoping for. And about the 5th map, what about why don't we, if we were to go to a 5th map, why don't we just do the gun lock?
Ooh, that may be it. We may have the fans vote on that again. So producer, if you could get that ready for us. But let's get back to the action with the Nano Brick coming out from Petite once again. Coalescence from Dead Pixel as well as Caniac, and the amplification matrix out from Severin. Every ultimate getting popped right now around the objective. It's heals and damage. Severin able to get the first pick onto Just Coming. 20 seconds on the clock as the rally gets popped by Kavat, but the anti-nade goes into the backline. It may not be enough. The Nano going on to Aerosun, looking to do the Battle Falcons up, taking down
Battle Falcons coming in.
Battle Valkyrie in the sky. It's a 5v6 fight on the objective. 4v6 as Lynx ends up taking down Petit Fromage. 5 seconds left on the clock as they continue to try to take the objective. Kavat ends up taking down Dead Pixel. Maniac in the double kill on Tricky Zerg and Meta, but not before taking Lynx with them. Overtime ticking away right now as they continue to try to get the objective in their favor, but it may end up being successful, and it is. But the unfortunate part, and I'm not for certain how this will work, we'll have to see how this comes out right now, because normally, yep, that's exactly how it's going to come out. Normally, I've seen this on the second attacking, if they have over a minute on the clock, that the other team will get a minute. I didn't know if that worked in reverse. So because they came in with under a minute on the clock, they will not get another chance to attack. They only have one chance to defend, and Western Division only has to get a first tick on the point. Now, remember, at the very beginning of the match, although slow, they were able to get it within a 2-minute time frame. So let's go ahead and see. Looking in the chat right now, Iranian Ops is saying, why are they all support? Did I miss something?
Nope,
yes,
normal
you
game.
did. No, this is a normal game. No,
nothing going on.
we had a vote earlier. Either we could do low gravity or we could do Heroes Never Die, which is supports only, and that's what everyone watching ended up picking. So that's why we're doing supports only. But as you can see, despite the fact that it's supports only, we're still seeing an amazing match right now. Western Division only got to get one tick to tie up the series and take us to a map 5 here in the Masters All-Stars. Let's go ahead and see what they're going to do as they start moving their way into Objective A.
And as we're moving through Objective A, keep thinking to yourselves in chat what we might be wanting to see when we're moving in if they get a map 5. A huge anti-nade gets landed here to set up some picks.
And Snoop's getting the first couple picks onto Dead Pixel and to Odie. That's going to put Eastern Division in a very good spot right now as Maniac takes down Just Comin'. That's going to allow them to continue to hold for now 1 minute 25 seconds on the clock. As Tricky Zerg able to get a pick onto Maniac. Stoops ends up taking down Meta. It's a 5v5 fight, moving their way into the objective, but it's almost not even because Meta has the res. So Aeroson is able to bring back someone to the fight if at all possible as they start moving their way in. Odie takes down Link's Immortality Field as they move their way closer and closer around the statue right now. The first ultimate to go down is onto Severin with the Nano, ends up taking down Petite Fromage as the Immortality Field gets shut down by Lynx. The Sleep Dart goes in, but it's not cleaned up upon as it is a 5v6 fight right now. 40 seconds on the clock, and Eastern Division is sinking in their hooves as much as possible, trying so hard to keep it from going to Western Division. They do want to take away this All-Star so bad as the ultimates come online. Kavat ends up taking down Dead Pixel. 25 seconds on the clock right now. Platinum, go ahead and say something before this gets crazy.
We got a huge ult party coming in. The second Petite Fromage gets the ultimate, or gets the rally. We're going to be seeing all of them coming at once. Just come and get the first pick, and the one's going to be massive!
The Amplification Matrix takes down Caniac as well as Lynx. That's a double kill. The Transcendence ends up getting popped by Kabat, trying to keep everything going as Aeroson gets the res onto Lynx. Snoops takes down Just Coming to Severin, follows up on Tricky Zerg. Meta is able to take down Aeroson as well as Lynx. That Battle Mercy going pro as the res comes in from Just Coming. Is a 2v5 fight on the 3v5 fight as Dead Pixel takes down Kabat. Severin falls to Petite Fromage. West is walking away with their second win tonight. We're going to a map 5. Woo! Oh my God. I've got my air conditioner running and I'm still sweating. This is so hot. Dead Pixel taking away play of the game with the invisible coalescence we see going on right now. The shutdown, the double kill, quad kill.
It's always more impressive when you can't see what's going on.
Of course.
How is there no healing card?
Well, because they were all healing. I do wonder if you hear this, teams. Actually, yeah, go ahead and pop that in there, Platinum. I want to definitely know who had top healing for that, because that had to be crazy. It looks like Lynx did with 11,000.7. That's for Eastern Division. Let's see, what did Western have? While we're waiting on that, Nee, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and popping up the new vote. Hopefully you were able to get that set up sometime. If not, go ahead and take your time. We can wait it out. We're going to map 5. Going to end up being Busan for tonight. You can go ahead and take your pick between Low Grab Adventure and Gun Jam.
Well, why don't you tell us a bit about Gun Jam and Low Grab Adventure for people who are just...
So once again, Low Grav Adventure is going to be just like the arcade. We're just going to lower the gravity. Everyone gets to pick what heroes they want. Just a regular game with low gravity. Gun Jam is something that I thought about that we weren't originally going to play tonight, but I think is going to be a lot of fun. And that's a locked primary. So there is going to be absolutely no primary fire throughout the entire match, no matter what hero they pick, which I think is going to be absolutely freaking nuts. So no Junkrat spamming nades. The only thing that they can do is hit with their basically what we're going to see is probably going to see a Torb on either side. So that's going to be the only turrets that it's only going to be turrets doing damage. We're going to see the same thing from Symmetra as well. And it looks like right now Gun Jam is looking to be the vote for right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and let the teams know. So I was surprised that Weest...
No, don't tell them. Make it a surprise.
Make it a surprise? No, they already know. They're already like, what's Gun Jam?
Well, yeah, they don't know what Gun Jam is. Let them figure it out. Let them figure it out when they get into a match.
Oh, boy. Well, hopefully no one votes Low Grav, because Low Grav is literally easy mode. That's what it looks like. It looks like even they are wanting to go with Gun Jam. So, and let's go ahead and see what the fans are picking right now. 20 seconds on the clock for the vote. Gun Jam currently in the lead at 87%. We're headed to Busan for our final map. So while I go ahead and set up, tell me what you're thinking about this going into this final match on Busan.
They figured it out.
Well, they're in the chat, so they probably knew.
Oh.
It's Gun Jam. Gun Jam's gonna be it. So let me go ahead and switch things up.
Well, I'm thinking that we're gonna be seeing a lot of really maybe some more niche heroes. Doomfist is gonna be very good, and so is, I would say, Roadhog is gonna be pretty good. Definitely not as good. I think Zenyatta is going to end up also being good. And obviously what you said before, people who can build, so Torb and Sim, and Mei possibly as well, just because her Icicle is really underrated in my opinion. Oh,
that's true. I didn't even think about things like that. I'm gonna almost guarantee you that we're gonna see that from Snoops. I have a feeling.
Probably.
I think the hardest thing that's going to well, actually, I guess it won't be super hard. I was thinking on the heals side of things that it would be difficult, but you have the alternate coming out from Moira that can heal, Zenyatta's heal, the AoE healing coming from... So the thing that I wonder that I didn't really think about is melee characters. So like Reinhardt or Brig, will they be able to flail? Because that's technically their melee as well, but it is their prime. So they won't be able to... Wow.
I know Ryan won't. I'm not 100% certain about Brig.
We have not tested this out. I was just looking through the settings and I was like, oh, that'd be really cool. But that's what you all voted for. That's what we're gonna do.
This is your fault, everyone. If this goes wrong, this is your fault. We take zero responsibility. You signed a waiver by voting in that poll.
It's definitely Captain Jack's fault. I will take the full blame, but I know it's going to be entertaining. Let's go ahead and see what we're going to come out with. Game 5 here at the Masters Division. Western Division's ready. Eastern, come on, give us your ready. Let's get this show on the road.
Okay, so quite frankly, I really want to see someone come out with something that's absolutely something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I want to see someone come out on a hero that entirely relies on primary fire and only use their quick melee ability.
Oh my, like Tracer?
Yeah, like someone just blinking around on Tracer.
Man.
Someone sprinting after people and meleeing them on Soldier. Someone wraith forming behind the enemy and just meleeing and on death or something. Just doing whatever you can to completely annoy the enemy team because it's just not part of your kit, but you want to have fun anyway. That's what I want to see here.
Oh, I typed Easter.
Easter.
All right. It looks like they're ready to go. Let's go ahead and get things started. We're headed to Busan!
Now traveling to Busan.
Oh! And we're going to start things off in the most tranquil of places and one of the most difficult maps that we've seen so far when it comes to control, Busan Sanctuary. Now, the reason, if you may not know, the reason that this map is so difficult is because in the middle of the objective point is this giant turtle drum that takes up like half of the objective, if not at least a third of the objective. So you have to be very cautious. Everyone's going to be really close together to try to take this objective point. And without any primary fire, the odds of things being done at a distance are just not going to be possible. So Platinum, I'm going to give it up to you. Tell me what we're seeing with these Whoa! No way. I was about, Dead Pixel was getting ready to come out on Widow. I was like, wait a second.
Wait.
Are you sure you want to do
only,
that?
boys. Scope only.
Scope only. Click, click, click. Let's see.
Just the photographer for the team.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good shot. All right. Oh, you died. That's too bad, but I got a good pick of it. All right. So it looks like what we were seeing.
Oh God! Look at Lynx. Look at Dead Pixel.
Dead Pixel on McCree. Oh! Fan the hammer! Oh my God! I didn't think of fan the hammer!
Oh my God! What have we done?
Done fan the hammers for days! Spam the hammer! Spam the hammer! Here it comes! Alright, we see some Doom. A Doomfist gets just coming as Dead Pixel follows up on Kavat. Tricky Zerg on the May ends up picking off Stoops. And Western taking the objective first as Just Coming ends up getting the punch onto Kania. Oh man, I didn't think of that. Oh man.
I just want to point out, Odie cannot shoot. Literally all he is here for is to be a rolling ball. That's it.
Yeah, but he can slam and shield and boot people out of the way. That's important.
he can't like fire at all. So he is actually a wrecking ball. There's no hamster side to this persona. He's just a wrecking ball. Oh God. Copyright.
Oops. Ends up taking down Odie. Tricky Zerg following up on Kavat as the hook comes in. We're gonna see the overdrive come in from Tricky Zerg using that shotgun style of Torbjorn to be able to hold on. 36% and climbing for Western as Aeroson takes down Petite. Lynx getting the kill onto Dead Pixel. We're going to see Eastern Division go ahead and take objective B as it is on here. 4% and climbing right now to the 43% of Western.
I dislike how much I'm disliking this, to be perfectly honest.
You dislike how much you're disliking this? This is amazing. Because honestly, it doesn't feel like anything's wrong. People are still getting kills. There's still like a working aspect of all of this, and it's still a very much back and forth fight. As the Transcendence comes out right now from Severin, trying to get the team healed up. Here comes the Blade, ends up getting hooked and shut down by Aeroson. The ultimate comes out from, I believe, Lynx, but gets shut down by Petite Fromage as well. Stoops coming in with the whole hog, takes down Dead Pixel as Kavat ends up using the turret to take down Meta at 45%. The Blizzard comes out from Caniac Maniac. Not going to be enough to hold on to the objective as the Molten Core gets popped by Petite, ends up getting shut down by Caniac. Severin following up on Petite, or sorry, we saw Caniac take out Odie right there, and they're going to swap it right back into their favor very quickly. 50% and climbing to the 59% that was briefly gotten by the Eastern team.
Now,
And everyone in the chat right now is trying to figure out what we're doing.
Genji is something we didn't think of, because Genji doesn't change that much. He uses his alt fire a lot. And same with Torbjorn.
True, but you have to be a lot more cautious about that. Like, his primary fire does allow him to hit more at a distance.
That's
so the
true.
alt fire is definitely, like, everything is very much close up as we're seeing. The fan the hammer, the alternate fire for Genji. The ultimate comes in from Odie, but ends up getting hooked out of it as Aerosan and Lynx getting the kill onto Odie and to Meta right there. Severin able to follow up onto Tricky Zerg as Eastern continues to hold the objective 90% and climbing right now. Folks in the chat saying Blade does nothing. I don't think that's true, because it's not a primary ability, would it be?
No, Blade does do something. You can see it in the kill feed right now. It's destroyed the immortality field. You can swing the blade.
Okay, just making sure about that, because
if you unbound primary fire, then it would do nothing. But simply disabling primary fire only disables
only
that.
primary fire is being disabled. Gotcha.
I thought it would be the same thing with McCree, but I saw him pull his high noon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know, because at one point I had a challenge with a friend of mine. He bet me I can't remember how much money it was, but he bet me an amount of money that I wouldn't be able to out damage him and out elim him if I unbound my McCree primary fire and only fan the hammer. And I could not use my high noon, but I saw the high noon be used by Lynx. Even though he died in the middle of it, he still started the firing sequence, so I'm pretty sure that you can still use ultimate primary fire.
All right, well, we're moving on to Mecha Base. Eastern Division did take the first map, but let's see if Western can tie it up once again. Odie getting the double kill there onto Aerosan, and Lynx just coming in as the Symmetra ends up taking down Kavat as Snoops gets the kill onto Odie. The objective is unlocked, but nobody's on it just yet. The res coming in from Petit. Ends up getting Odie back in the fight as Dead Pixel takes down Snoops. Meta finding themselves low, but Odie ends up taking down Severin as well as Lynx. Odie right now with that fan the hammer just cleaning up right now.
Still there.
But that is just crazy. Aerosan ends up getting a kill onto Odie, but Dead Pixel returns the favor as Western Division takes the objective 15% and climbing.
Petit Fromage, unable to heal his team, only able to do damage boost and rezzing. So I guess that's fun enough. Not able to shoot, though.
Whoa, Mercy's not able to heal?
That's a new one.
Whoa! I didn't even think about that as her primary fire. Oh my. We totally goofed this up. The high noon comes out, but Kavat shuts that down with some molten hot steel to the face, and Eastern Division will take over the objective. 2% and climbing to 41%. Dead Pixel comes out with the blizzard, but ends up getting shut down by Kavat quickly. Tricky Zerg does get the punch kill onto Severin, but Aerosan follows up onto Meta as well. 12% and climbing right now for the Eastern Division as we see Western moving their way back into the objective. Turret versus turret right now, but it looks like we ended up seeing Kavat hold on just a little longer. Ends up getting taken down by Dead Pixel there, just coming, and Petit getting the kill, and Rez as Snoops ends up taking down Dead Pixel. The Transcendence and the Blizzard and Whole Hog come out as the wall divides the space. Eastern continuing to hold on as much as possible as the Meteor Strike comes out from Tricky Zerg, looking to get that finalizing kill if at all possible, as Eastern nope, they're just going to go retreat with it as we see Eastern now go ahead and surpass in the percentage, 52% and climbing to 41% for Western.
If Eastern wins this, if Eastern gets 100% here, they win this.
Yep, that's right.
So Western really has got to turn this around here. Deflected.
What?
Molten Core.
What? What am I seeing? Deflected Molten Core, and Western is building on it. Coming in, Petit Fromage and Tricky Zerg end up getting kills as Snoop follows up on Tricky Zerg. They're still not able to take the objective. 82% and climbing for Eastern Division as we see just coming, trying to take down Snoop. The high noon coming in from Lynx ends up taking down Dead Pixel as we see Meta coming in on the Baptiste, gets shut down by Kavat as Aerosan gets the dash kill onto Petit. The only one left on the objective right now is Tricky Zerg on the Hammond, who cannot shoot, just coming, getting back into the fight as the Transcendence comes out. We see a blinking dead pixel, ends up getting taken out by the whole hog, and overtime ticking away, trying to do everything at all possible. Kavat shuts down Petit Fromage, overtime ticking away. Odie comes in as the Doomfist, just barely touching, gets taken down by Kavat again, and Eastern, in a crazy set of events, will end up taking away the victory tonight on the Masters Division's All-Star Game. But folks, if you missed it, you were not watching. You missed a lot. This was an exciting match from beginning to end between these All-Star fighters. The shutdown after the stun. Whoa!
Yeah, see,
double
there
shutdown.
You can use the ultimate there. You can see.
Yep, that was absolutely incredible.
Oh my god, that's disgusting. 18 out of 23 fan the hammer kills. I feel disgusting.
Mean, when that's the only thing you have, then it makes sense. But to see that match be so successful,
I think this should become a regular option.
It might be. We do have the Diamond matchup coming up, I believe, next week. We may bring this up again. I'm not for certain, but as we have finalized, Eastern Division does walk away with the match this evening 3-2, but it was incredibly close between these two teams. We laughed, we cried, we freaked out at a reflected freaking Molten Core, which I totally did not expect. And it was just amazing overall. So Platinum, why don't you go ahead and start us off as the chat goes ahead and blows up their player of the matches as well.
I am going to say that. See, it's difficult. It's difficult for me. I'm gonna have to go with Lynx, just because he's I said what I meant, what I said, and I said what I meant. I said that I would give my MVP to whoever got gold healing from that match, and I have to give it to him with the 11.7k. So he's got my MVP. He definitely had it in other ways. He was a fantastic player, but the nail in the coffin was 100% going to be that gold healing.
that gold healing on the Heroes Never Die map. I can totally understand that. I'm gonna have to give my love to Snoops. I don't normally give it to the DPS, but honestly, Snoops was very freestanding among the Eastern Division players. Western Div was just not able to find a way to really take care of Snoops a majority of the time, and despite the different game modes we played there at the end, Snoops picking the Roadhog as their pick for that final map was ingenious, because the secondary fire is that very close, that single shot that's kind of like a ball of junk rather than a shotgun spray. So you have to be very exact when you're hitting those, and was just popping off that entire match. When we saw them on Ana and Zenyatta during the match on King's Row in Heroes Never Die, was just doing an incredible job despite not actually being able to have a sniper position, if you will. And just throughout the rest of the match was able to get pick after pick after pick, obviously being supported by their team because they were working together, but was really kind of freestanding on their own. So Snoop's going to walk away with my player of the match this evening. Hopefully we have wasted enough time. It doesn't seem like anyone's blowing up in the chat just yet, but while we wait, thank you so much for joining us this evening. If you're interested in continuing to follow the Rose League action going on right now, as I said, we are in our playoffs. Next week is going to be our quarterfinals matchups for Platinum through Grandmaster Division. The week after, which is going to be, make sure I get my weeks, so the 10th through the 16th is quarterfinals. 17th through the 23rd of June is going to be the semifinals, and the 24th through the 30th will be our finals from Platinum to Grandmasters Division. And then July 1st, the Rose League is going to take a much deserved break after a very, very huge season 2. I've learned a lot about kind of what's been going on with the Rose League between season 1 and 2. As you know, this is my first season here, and to jump from 24 teams in season 1 to 79 teams, almost triple or over triple, I believe, if I do my math correctly, over triple the number of teams from season 1 to season 2. I was just beside myself. I said I have got to be part of this, and I am so glad that I get to be here. I cannot fathom what is going to be ended up what will end up happening as we go into season 3. Note, we will be having action going on over the summer. We have some we're going to try to set up some pub games for you a couple times a week. We do want to give our casters and our producers some time off, well deserved, because they've been working their butts off, which we want to give a shout out to First Night of Knee, has literally produced every match this week. So I'm gonna give you some claps right there, fam. Thank you so much for coming in clutch this week and helping us out. It just happened to be chaos, and the Knights of Knee do not shy away from a fight. So glad to have you here with us. I feel like everyone kind of dipped out because we're not getting any players of the match. We just got East Coast is best coast from a couple people, and that's it. Like, no players in the match, no nothing. So I'm going to assume that we're done. So with that being said, thank you so much. It looks like Jukebox in the chat saying poggers to First Night of Knee for MVP. Love that. Thanks, Platinum. I give my poggers to First Night of Knee as well. So that's going to be it for us here at the Rose League. Catch us next week during the quarterfinals matchup between Platinum, Diamond, Master, and Grandmaster divisions. It's going to be a hoot because, believe me, the play-in games we had this week were very close and almost a little unexpected. So I'm really excited to see who of the top 4 for each division is going to move on to the finals for each of their conferences. With that being said, that's it for us here at the Rose League. We'll catch you all next time.